Hey guys, we're going to be talking about what might be some of the better bets today against the spread in college basketball for January 13th, 2017. If you're interested in getting more of these pick videos in the future, you can click that subscribe button to get notifications when we come out with these college basketball pick videos. And also, if you can click that thumbs up on this video, it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you want more pick content in general, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com, our main site, by clicking this logo here in the top right-hand corner. And we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. You can get our daily free play over there. It's usually college basketball, one-unit play. And you can also get all of our top confidence premium content across all major American sports over there as well. Alright guys, so today not a lot of action going on, just 5 games in total that have spreads out. And this video is going to have just 4 games that we feel have decent value against the spread. We're going to start with this Toledo versus Central Michigan matchup. The spread isn't listed for this one, and I assume that's because this website just hasn't updated yet, but this was a Saturday matchup that's been switched to Friday. Central Michigan currently is about a 1.5 to 2 point underdog on their home court, so we'll head right into this matchup to get things started. The Toledo Rockets have been one of the better offensive teams in the MAC this season, ranking 32nd in the nation in scoring average compared to 293rd in total defense. And with going against a fast-paced opponent today, expect a lot of points to go up in this one on both sides of the ball for each squad. After winning their 2 opening conference home games against Buffalo and Miami, Ohio, Toledo came up short in their last outing, losing to Western Michigan on the road by a final of 74-90. The Rockets are going back-to-back on the road in MAC play, which isn't easy, and it'll be interesting to see how Toledo bounces back coming off a less than impressive defeat against the Broncos. Toledo has been led by Jonathan Williams, who's averaging about 20.5 points per game, and it's really just going to be interesting to see how Toledo is able to bounce back here, and if they have their legs under them coming off of a pretty significant defeat in the last outing on the road, and now they're going against another fast-paced opponent, and it'll just be interesting to see how much fight Toledo shows in this particular matchup. And then we have the home team, the Central Michigan Chippewas, that are another MAC squad that loves to get up and down the court quickly, as the Chips rank 8th in the nation in scoring average compared to 338th in total defense. Central Michigan has actually been one of the best home teams in the MAC in the last few years, but CMU came up short in their last outing against MAC favorites Akron, losing to the Zips by a final of 85-89. This was still a really respectable defeat for the Chips, who has been better than expected this season, standing 10-6 overall. But this group hasn't gotten off to their ideal start in conference play, still looking for their first conference win. But to be fair to the Chips, they have gone against a pretty tough schedule to open conference play up to this point. CMU has the highest scoring backcourt in the nation, and this unit is led by Keen and Rayson, who are averaging 29.3 and 18.7 points per game, respectively. CMU showed a lot of fight in their efforts to come from behind the other day at home against Akron, and with some better decision-making with their shot selection down the stretch of that particular matchup, the Chips might have been able to pull off the upset in the end. CMU has generally been strong at home, and we like for Central Michigan to compete hard again today, going here against the Toledo Rockets, who are coming in on a back-to-back road situation and coming off a convincing defeat of their own in their last outing. We do like Central Michigan to go on to cover the spread at home as a pretty solid bet. Moving on to another matchup in Michigan today, we have Detroit against Oakland. This is going to be a matchup over in the Horizon. It's been a pretty brutal season for the Detroit Titans, who stand just 2-14 overall and 0-4 in their Horizon, coming into this tough test on the road against in-state foe Oakland. Detroit has been porous on the defensive side of the ball, ranking an embarrassing 345th in the nation in total defense, giving up 84.5 points per game on average. Detroit also ranks just 8th in the conference in scoring average, and this unit has been led by Jaleel Hogan, who's averaging about 14 points per game. Detroit has lost 14 of the last 15 games, but the Titans were respectable in their last outing, losing to Valparaiso on the road by a final of 74-81. And even though Detroit has lost 14 of the last 15 games, at least the Titans remain competitive, and you can tell that they give effort every night. It's just they've been coming up short in some competitive games as well as some double-digit defeats. But this group is a little better than their 2-14 overall record might suggest, but definitely deserving of their 0-4 start in conference thus far, even though Detroit has been a little bit more competitive than their record might suggest. Then the home team, we got the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, who are looking like the team to beat in the Horizon right now. This group has started 14-3 overall and 4-0 in conference play. Oakland has reloaded their roster nicely with some higher level talent coming in, and the Golden Grizzlies have shown strengths on both sides of the ball, ranking about 70th in the nation in both scoring average and total defense. Oakland is coming off back-to-back wins on the road against Valpo and Illinois Chicago, and that really cements this group's place as the team to be in the horizon right now and puts them atop the conference standings. Oakland has shown solid depth, and Martez Walker has led this offensive attack, averaging 17.5 points per game. Detroit has been in the doormat of the horizon this season, and just everyone's been walking over this group, but the Titans have at least been competitive in the bulk of their recent defeats. Oakland didn't overwhelm in their last outing on the road against UIC, just picking up that win by 1 point. But to be fair to the Golden Grizzlies, that was on the second leg of a tough road trip. We like Oakland to come through here and get the win, but we do feel like the Titans getting the considerable amount of points is going to be the better betting value in this particular matchup. This one did start at about 20 points, and it has gone down to 18.5, but even at the 18.5, we do feel like Detroit at least has enough offensive potential in this one to at least keep things respectable and go on to cover this rather large spread, especially coming off of a pretty impressive competitive loss in the last outing against Valparaiso. All right, guys, the next matchup that we're going to talk about is going to be over in the Ivy League with Yale and Pennsylvania. Despite losing much of their talent from last year's NCAA tournament team, Yale has remained a solid unit, standing at 8-5 overall against a respectable non-conference slate. Yale is one of the favorites to push for the Ivy League regular season title, and the Bulldogs have shown strengths on both sides of the ball this year, standing 116th in the nation in scoring average as well as 91st in total defense. In their last Division I matchup, Yale came through at home against Hartford, picking up the win by a final of 88-72. Yale is road tested so far this season, and their tough road matchups during the non-conference should have really prepped this group quite well for action in the Ivy League. Yale spreads the ball around to a number of offensive threats, and the Bulldogs have an impressive 6 players averaging at least 9 points per game, just to really show you how evenly this group spreads around the ball on the offensive end. And then the home team, we got the Penn Quakers, who are one of the slower-paced teams in the conference, as this group ranks 301st in the nation in scoring, compared to 55th in total defense. Penn likes to play in the half court and build off of their defense, as the Quakers are giving up just 65.6 points per game on average. Penn came up short in their conference opener on the road, losing to Princeton by a final of 52-61 in what was another less than ideal offensive performance for the Quakers. Penn has looked better recently, picking up some wins at home against the likes of Fairfield and Drexel to end non-conference play for the Quakers. Penn has been led by A.J. Brodeur, who's averaging about 15 points per game. Yale has been much better offensively than the Quakers this season. The Bulldogs have a lot more consistent options to go to on the offensive side of the ball. Yale is battle-tested on the road, and they should be ready for the atmosphere of the road crowd in this particular matchup. We do like the Bulldogs to push the Quakers in this one as they go on to cover the spread, and what's probably going to be a fairly competitive matchup. This one started with Pennsylvania being a pick-em. They have gone up to about a 2-point favorite in this one, and now with Yale getting the points, they really do feel like the stronger value play in this particular Friday night matchup. And then the last game that we're going to be discussing in this video is going to be the matchup over in the MAAC between Rider and Manhattan. The Rider Broncs have looked like one of the best teams in the MAAC to open conference play, as Rider stands now 11-5 overall and 4-1 in league play. In their last outing, Rider came through at home against Niagara, picking up the win by a final of 89-78. And during their recent road trip, the Broncs picked up some nice wins on the road against Marist and Monmouth. If Rider can beat Monmouth on the road, then they can beat pretty much anyone in conference play on the road, because Monmouth is looking like, at least in terms of their overall talent and experience, like one of the top teams in the conference. And for Rider to pick up a win on the road in that situation, that's just really an impressive win for them. The Broncs are riding a 3-game winning streak, and this group is building momentum coming into this road test. Rider has 5 players averaging at least 9 points per game, and Jimmy Taylor leads this attack, averaging 13.4 points per contest. And this is another one of those offenses that really spreads the ball around and really gets a lot of guys involved with a lot of different offensive threats there on the offensive end. And then the home team, we got Manhattan. They haven't been all that impressive this season, especially on the defensive side of the ball, as the Jaspers stand 6-11 overall and 1-5 in conference. This group just ranks 310th in the nation in total defense. Manhattan was able to pick up their first conference win of the year in their last outing, getting past Niagara by a final of 78-69 In their home game prior to that, Manhattan was throttled by Fairfield, losing to the Stags by a final of 79-97. The Jaspers have been too inconsistent, and their defensive issues have really been their Achilles heel in conference play up to this point. Manhattan is led by Xavier Turner, who's averaging 16.6 points per game. The Rider Broncs have been proving themselves both at home and on the road in MAAC play thus far, and this will be another good measuring stick game for Rider, who currently stands atop the league standings. Manhattan is coming off of their first conference win of the year, but we like the momentum Rider brings into this road contest, and we're going to take the Broncs to come through again today as they go on to cover the spread. Right now they're sitting at a 1-point underdog, so we feel like Rider has a pretty good shot at picking up this win on the road, but getting that +1 gives us a little bit of a cushion to work with there. Even if they come up just short in the end, we'll get a push in that one. But we do like the Broncs here as the top team in the MAAC coming on the road against Manhattan, who's really had their issues on the defensive side of the ball in conference play. All right, guys, again, like we said, not a lot of action in today for college basketball. It's going to be a lot more going on tomorrow, and we're really looking forward to seeing all the spreads that we'll get for tomorrow's action. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play or any of our premium pick content across all major American sports, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com by clicking this logo in the top right-hand corner of the video, and we'll also link Stump the Spread in the video description. And if you can and you're interested in more of this video pick content, you can click that subscribe button and click that thumbs up on this video, and it really helps us out and is greatly appreciated. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next college basketball pick video. Thanks a lot. Bye.